Okay, we're back once again on the breakfast show. This was actually a different discovery that was recently revealed here in Egypt, but we're still talking back about once again about the Tahmes discovery with our guest, Dr. Ola El Aguizy, the former dean of the Faculty of Archaeology at Cairo University. Doctor, usually the engraved stelae, which you've actually mentioned, that was available in this latest discovery, it reveals a great deal about the person buried in the tomb, and it also tells you how they used to live, their style, the people, like you've said, the family and everything else, what they ate and drank. What did this particular discovery reveal about Tahmes?
Well, it shows part of his life, of course, and part of his career, because all the titles show the different posts he held during his career. But of course, all tombs reveal the whole story of the deceased and his family, because the representations on the walls of the tombs, they want to show the activities during life, all his activities during life, because he thought that all this was going to be taken with him to the other world, because he of course they believed in another the afterlife. Exactly. So all these activities should come with him to the other world. Of course, scenes of offerings are very important, because offerings are presented for the soul to live, to go on living. Representations of his son and his children, either performing rituals for him to help him go to the other world, or sitting in during feasts or banquets during life, but all these have their meaning for the afterlife. So that's why always the owner of the tomb is represented in all these scenes, and he's usually represented bigger than the other members of his family. He's going into his tomb during the day and going out of the tomb. Yeah, every day he has to go out. His soul goes out from the tomb, or it eats it's supposed to beneficiate of the offerings presented to him, so that he could. All
offerings on drawings, of course. So it's all metaphysical.
No, of course, people presented the servant of his ka, what is called the servant of the ka, the priest, presents offerings, and of course the offerings are eaten by the priests. That's true.
Isn't it amazing, Dr. Ola, that despite all the environmental factors and everything that happened, the painting remained intact, almost intact?
Whenever it is underground, the paintings are kept in good
But it was
condition.
above ground before. So.
Yes. I think the tomb of Dr. Zahi, part of it was underground. I think that when we open the underground shaft, we will find some representations or some scenes colored, because it is always preserved underground, so the colors remain.
Do you expect any more discoveries in that area?
Of course, the area is very rich. We are digging in a site uncovered in 1984, and from 1984 to 1986. 35 tombs were discovered. Some of them from the Old Kingdom, and most of them are from the reign of King Ramses II, high officials. We began working in 2005. We found 2 other tombs, apart from the one we are working on now. And each one of them has a person, or is the owner of the tomb is a high official from the reign of Ramses II. And then beside our site, there is a site of the Dutch expedition and British expedition. They found the tomb of Horemheb, the well-known army official, and then king after Tutankhamun, Horemheb tomb, and people from the same period, I mean 18th dynasty. So we are going, our site is going to reach the site of the Dutch expedition. And probably throughout all this area we will find other tombs, because it is a row of tombs from the same period.
That's amazing. And all throughout all those discoveries, Doctor, we always find that those buried people or mummies also place statues and paintings depicting the owners. And this is a trend found everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Always in tombs there are statues of the owner of the tomb. statues of his family, and it is placed in particular places in the tomb because the soul has to recognize its owner and then beneficiate from the offerings.
So it's got also a spiritual connection or depiction as well.
Yes, of course.
Great. It's amazing how much you can discover or uncover from this.
And there are lots and lots to be discovered yet.
Indeed,
And Saqqara is a very, very rich area because it was the necropolis of the Memphis, which is the first capital of Egypt. And then it was the place where the kings of the first and second dynasty were buried in what we call Mastaba. And it's the place where the first pyramid in Egypt was built, the pyramid of King Djoser. And the step pyramid of King Djoser. And then also the kings of the fifth dynasty began engraving inside their pyramids what we call the pyramid texts, which are the first religious texts in history. So that's why the place remained sacred throughout the Egyptian history. Even in the late periods, the priests and the officials were buried there. In one of the tombs we uncovered last year, there was a big sarcophagus of a lady, which was the mother of a certain priest who was from the 26th dynasty, dated to the 26th dynasty. And they engraved on their sarcophagus pyramid texts also, taken from the tomb, from the pyramids of the fifth dynasty, King Unas. So, and they were deifying the kings of the old kingdom. The person is called the priest, and the servant of the Ka, what we call, of King Menkaura.
Ka is the god?
The soul.
The soul, yes.
Of King Menkaura. So he is in the 26th dynasty, and he is still the priest of the King Menkaura. The priest of the soul of the King Menkaura. So that there is a ritual and there is a belief that these kings were sacred because they were old kings.
Oh, she actually declares Saqqara as a sacred area. Definitely.
Of course. And that's why they wanted to be buried in ancient sites already used by the kings, by the persons in the 19th dynasty, and still people buried in it from the 26th dynasty also, because they believed that it is a sacred area.
Indeed. Okay. But it's throughout Egypt, I guess. I mean,
throughout Egypt, but that area in particular was very sacred.
Precious.
Yes,
but in Upper Egypt as well. I mean, discoveries are never ending in Egypt. It's like the land of discoveries and of secrets. Like, amazing.
Keep discovering more secrets. But since you are excavating now, and you were just telling me that you are excavating in a particular site, and the Dutch and German are on another site, and you should meet in a meeting point, do you expect to find anything that you have been looking for, something like a missing piece of the big riddle or something? Or just by chance you expect to find the dynasties in order?
Well, what we found now probably is a tomb dated to the end of the 18th dynasty, beginning to the 19th dynasty. So we expect that when we go closer to the site of the Dutch expedition, we will find more 18th dynasty. This tomb, for instance, Tahmes, he was a person known in books. Tahmes and his objects and his stelae are in the museum, and so and so on. So they were looking for it. For instance, person already published. There are certain persons who already published the pieces in the museums. So when I tell her I discovered this tomb, she will be interested to know what we found in the tomb, because already she knows the person and she has published all the objects from this tomb.
This is what I mean. Someone who has been known as a figure, but still his tomb
was not found. It was called the missed tombs.
Missed tombs, exactly. Yes.
Well, best of luck indeed, Doctor, with your uncovering the riches of the pharaohs. Indeed, we'll be waiting for more and more discoveries.
And I have to say, we enjoyed very much this talk this morning. Very interesting. Thank you very much.
Dr. Ola El Aguizy, former Dean of the Faculty of Archaeology at Cairo University. Always a pleasure having you on our breakfast.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And right now we're going to move to another report, actually, a very interesting one, moving from the world of archaeology to the world of education. Morocco is devoting the larger part of its budget to national security and education. In recent years, the education system has undergone reforms with the introduction of schools of respect, promoting dialogue and greater